Today we're here to celebrate the first viewing of our new female tiger cub. The first day where she'll be viewed by the public. Our tiger cub was born on May 1st. We were able to witness the birth using remote cameras that we had set up in the den. So it was about 11 o'clock p.m. on that day that she was born. When she was born, we soon after got a weight on her. She weighed just under 1 kilogram, so a very healthy Amur tiger cub weight. And right away we witnessed her nursing from mom, moving around a lot, so we could tell right from the start that she was healthy. So for the first few months of the tiger's life, she's going to eat only milk from mom. So that's what we witnessed on the first day. She's been very playful since an early age, and we can see her getting more and more confident and more assertive with play with her mom. So she plays a lot of the time. She'll go through very energetic spurts, play with mom, and then settle down for a long nap. But sometimes we'll see mom wake up from a nap first and go over to the baby and try to get the baby to play with her. So they have a really nice relationship and lots of play involved. So in the wild, Amur tigers eat all sorts of other mammals, but the two main types of animals that they eat are wild deer and wild pig. So we try to replicate that here at the zoo by giving them a varied diet, including horse meat, beef, and also some whole animals. Some of their tigers' favorite foods are whole rabbits, whole chicks, so young chickens, and also rats and mice. So all our tigers here are part of a large-scale North American breeding program for this species. So there's a central person who determines which tigers will be transferred to which zoos for breeding plans. So currently, the parents of our cub, Mazy the mother and Vasily the father, are a good match genetically for this breeding program. So I believe the plan is to keep them together, potentially for future breedings, and I would expect that the female cub, once she gets to maturity, will be transferred to a different zoo to be part of their own breeding program. But the decision's not up to us. There are some expert tiger matchmakers out there who will make that decision soon. So this current program does not involve any wild releases. Fortunately, we've seen the wild population of Amur tigers steadily increase over the last 7 years. So because the wild populations are increasing, there isn't pressure for us to release captive bred animals back into the wild. However, the population in the wild still only stands at around 500 individuals. So a single problem in the wild, a big catastrophic event, something like even like climate change, could have very negative effects on their populations. So it's good to have a backup plan. And that's what the breeding program here at the zoo is. We maintain throughout zoos all over North America a genetically stable population of Amur tigers, just in case we ever do need to start releasing them to the wild to bolster those wild populations. It's been a long number of years since we last had an Amur tiger birth at the zoo, over 10 years, so we're extremely excited for this new addition. It is also quite difficult to breed Amur tigers in zoos, so we have seen a drop-off in births within zoos throughout North America, so we're very excited for this new addition to the breeding program. And part of the difficulty in breeding these animals is it's very hard to tell when a female is ready to breed. They're seasonal breeders. They only are able to breed at certain times of the year. For this species, that's during the middle of winter. So with the help of our reproductive science team, we're able to monitor Maziria's fecal hormones, fecal reproductive hormones, the hormones in her poop that we can collect every day, and that can help us determine when the best time to put her with the male is to maximize the chances of her getting pregnant. So there's a lot of science that goes into the matchmaking of tigers and also the timing of when to breed them. Another thing that's difficult with these tigers is that even after they breed, it's hard to tell if they're pregnant. So they can go through what is called a pseudo-pregnancy or a fake pregnancy, whereas where when you see the fecal hormones that we collect, they can indicate a pregnancy even though a pregnancy is not actually there. So we weren't actually sure if Mazy was pregnant until about a couple weeks before the babies were born, even though that entire time the hormones were telling us yes. Currently we have mom and baby in an indoor maternity enclosure, and soon they will be able to go into their outdoor maternity enclosure, which is a little bit smaller than our main tiger exhibit. It allows us to monitor them, and it's a little better baby-proof. So when they're old enough, they'll be able to move into the larger tiger exhibit with some more space to explore. And this is what we do with our tigers every week. We'll switch them between the two exhibits. So currently, while Mazy and the baby are occupying our maternity exhibits, Vasily will be living in the main tiger exhibit where he can be seen every day. You have to be very careful with some large carnivores when babies are around. We weren't sure initially if Mazy would be stressed at the sight of Vasily. In the wild, sometimes large carnivores will will cannibalize babies of their species. So there's definitely a threat, and the mom could be stressed out. But we did watch Maziria's behavior. She's a very calm cat. She got along really well with Vasily when we put them together for breeding, so we know they had a good relationship. So we just watched their behavior, and we slowly let Mazy and the cub we let them see Vasily through the mesh, and now we're to the point where we can move all the tigers into our holding together in separate areas, and they can see each other, and we've had no problems. The cub is always making chuffing noises, which is greetings in tiger language. She'll make those to her dad, and we see chuffing between Maziria and Vasily as well. So all three seem to be getting along really well. So right now our Amur tiger cub is on display daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Currently you can only see her and her mom in our indoor enclosure. This is because we're waiting for a long enough time to pass for her to have her second round of vaccines. So once she's had good vaccines for rabies and other diseases, we'll feel safe enough to release her into the outdoor exhibit where you can see her. So we'd love for you to come down and visit our tiger and our new cub. They're currently on display from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. daily, but you can always see Vasily, our adult male, anytime the zoo is open.